Hey guys, Alex from Futurephonic here, and today I'm going to be showing us through our latest sample pack, Future Geometrics. Let's head in. So before we head in and start exploring the main pack, I just wanted to show you some of the kicks and basses together. All the kicks come tuned, the basses are all pre-processed, so they just sound professional straight off the bat. And I've sort of brought them to life with some of the other sounds from the pack, just to illustrate that a little bit. Here's a dimension kick, the origin bass in E, and a few of the other sounds. And you can see how some of those sounds from the pack really come up to the front nicely and give it a sort of organic, liquidy feeling. So here's a slightly longer sketch in A sharp. I've got the midpoint kick, the radius bass, and I wanted to show you how, as well as having really nice smooth kick and bass, I've used some of the longer atmospheres to give it this sort of climbing sound, so some nice sort of long tension. And these samples just keep going as well. You can lay them over really long sections of track. Let's take a look at one more. This one's in a triplet sound. I've also used this G bass enhancer from the pack just to give that bass just a bit of extra strength, as well as some of the snares. So yeah, great building blocks for getting a professional sound straight away. Now let's take a look at some of the pack in more detail. So let's go into the build intention folder. Now a lot of these were actually, I made them a little bit longer because I found it frustratingly difficult to find really long risers that kind of slowly build up the tension over longer sections. So I'm going to kind of skip through a few of these. You've got these really long ones. That kind of almost Transformers robotic-like sound. At 54 seconds, that can go over a whole bunch of your track and really have a nice long build-up. Then we've got these sky fallers, which are more vocal. As well, of course, some shorter ones. So let's check out some of these fills. And I had a lot of fun making these ones, especially these glitch-tronic fills, which have been really popular. And so these work really well if you just drop them in that bar just before a big drop. And it's actually been really amazing to hear them in some quite big tracks already. Check out the Mojo fills. Again, these have been specifically processed to sit in really nicely with a sort of Psytrance sound. Then we got these thunder toms. When I was doing Sonic Species with Joe, we used to love having these big, epic, cinematic toms, and they're great for just adding huge impact. Really popular sort of tom sound, so we thought we'd chuck some of those in. Now we get into the grids and leads, and I made these specifically for people who want to chop it up and rearrange it and put it back together in their own way, like all the samples I do. I really do make these with creatives in mind. So a lot of these sounds come in two halves. The first half will be with all the reverb and delay. So it's got all that nice sort of professional wet polish on it, so you can just drop it straight in. But I do realize it can be frustrating if you want to edit beyond that and all the sounds are covered in delay and reverb. So I then actually put a drier version of the sound. So for instance, check out this particles and transformation. So it's got all that nice watery texture on it. But then we go to the second half and it's a lot drier. So much easier to chop up and then put back together with your own settings on it. I love this one, Time Becomes a Loop. It's just so perfect for dropping on top of a kick and bass and just chopping out the bits you like, just to give it that sort of futuristic, crunchy top on it. So once again, you hear the wet and the dry. And then the dry. I was also sure to add some of these bass layers. These are so great for giving your basses a much more intense, kind of pointy metallic feel. Let's check out the hits and one-shots. So some of these folders, like for instance Alien Speak, Clouds in Reverse, these are sort of short, fluid sounds which are great for bridging other sounds in your track to give them a sort of morphing feel. Let's check them out. Little particles. Great for getting a sort of psychedelic morphing sound into your track. Same as these clouds in reverse. And you can just really chuck those onto almost any grid and it's just going to give it more of a sort of liquid psychedelic sound which just has this way of gluing stuff together and bringing it to the front. This Hazy Memories folder was all recorded through my Strymon Big Sky desktop reverb, and it's got just absolutely lush tails on it. I love making really sort of organic, foresty sounds, and these noises in the dark are perfect for that kind of outdoorsy sound. I've always found it a little bit frustrating to find more sort of tonal effects, which are great for putting right onto drops or leading up to drops. So that's why I made this sort of tonal hits folder, and you've got lots of kind of like sustained chords. I also combined some of the more synthetic and organic sounds that we recorded for some of these other samples. Great for transitions. Of course, I had to throw a few bonus one-shots in. We've had a lot of great comments on the kicks. These were mostly made by Sam, the other guy in Futurephonic, and I think he did a great job. They're arranged by tune, and they just slip in with professional stuff so well. People responded really well to the top loops in our last sample pack, Sonic Formations, so of course I had to make a few more of those. So the way I actually make these is by finding professional tracks by the big artists, especially the ones that have sort of sparser percussion sections. And I actually build these loops on top of those pro tracks, so that when you take the track away, you're left with something which really is made to sit directly in a professional mix. Here's some bongo loops we recorded in the studio. If you want to make your own loops, here's some hits and rolls. So pads and atmospheres are one of my favorite things to make, and you're going to find some really lush, deep soundscapes in here. I love this choral, granular ceremony. This dragonfly sample is perfect for adding sort of digital creeping lines all over your track. These are all processed, EQ'd, and have had a final mix by Nikolai Andreas, who did a great job on just getting them completely ready to put in any track for just instantly professional sound. Precise Psytrance snares can actually be quite difficult to find and fit into the mix. These are made specifically for just slotting directly in at what I think is the correct frequency. We had a lot of fun making some voice samples.
Bright points in the sky or a blow on the head will equally cause one to see stars.
This weird music, what is this?
The cosmos is all that is, or ever was, or ever will be. You call this reality?
Artificial intelligence.
Here begins the journey.
So here in this folder called Zoot's Shack, we got an incredible percussionist named Zoot, and we recorded some of his coolest instruments. So we've got this overtone flute. This one is super cool. This waterphone, really creepy, almost sort of horror movie stuff. Great metallic sort of tension. We also recorded his hand pans and arranged them by key. Lovely sort of ambient, fluttering sort of textures there. Okay, so I hope I've given you a really good overview of Future Geometrics. It's made by a producer for producers like you. It's made for creatives who like to chop stuff up, rearrange it, and to also have the convenience of professionally produced stuff straight out of the box. It's available from our website, www.futurephonic.co.uk. It's priced at £38.40, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm Alex Story, signing out, and thank you very much for watching today.